Happy day, happy week, and happy life. I hope you're doing amazing and moving to the next level. Look at this gorgeous image. People walk in the park and they enjoy some time free. Peace is what gives you nature, and that peace is what brings you the essence of your being. You watch the trees, you watch the grass, you hear the birds, how they sing and how they behave, and you learn from them. You learn from them how to be. Just be with yourself. But who are you? Today I discuss the identity you think you have and what is behind that identity. This is important to be happier and enjoy life more. The self, our identity, is essential since it is what defines us. It also explains how we behave with other people, since they, the others, may alter the definition of our identity. This is key to your happiness. If you do this right, it can empower you and make you happier and more free. I will discuss the following. Who are you? Here I discuss the identity and who you are. Separation traits. Here I discuss the characteristics of the self, the separation conscience. Dissolving your ego. Here I discuss how to dissolve your ego. Ego death. Starting the journey. Here I discuss how you can start the journey of ego death and living in a more free and happier way. This video can be the starting point of an exciting new journey, a new you, a new way of living with yourself. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any content from me. Who are you? If somebody asks you this question, you will probably tell them your name, and you may also tell them your profession and even your job title. I am James, a software engineer working as technical lead in coolcompany.com. This is your identity, since it is what you will say if somebody asks. But is that really who you are? Is that defining you? The answer will be yes, unless you are highly spiritually evolved. The reason is that society places you on a label since you were born an identity, so you can compare with others. This identity is what it is, the self or the ego. It is not that you are egoistic or narcissistic and you have an ego. We all have an ego since we have an identity. This ego aligns us with the separation conscience. That identity will force you to try to be different, to differentiate from other people, and to defend your space. I have a face, a body, and a past. All this information in my mind is what I am aware of myself. Some people call this the I. I have a name, I have a car, I have a wife. All these structures are related to the concept of separation. One of the purposes of the concept of separation is to defend this identity and protect your space. If I am the self, then who are you? You are the other, right? It might happen that due to some circumstances in life, I need to defend myself from you, the other. For this, I will use the willpower, fight hard, and do everything required. This is the purpose of the separation to defend your identity from others. Not only your identity, but everything contained in yourself, like your family. You will probably identify with your wife, your children, etc. This is so since you included them in your identity. Are they yours? Probably not. For you, it's a way of speaking, and for some of you, it's a trait of ownership. everything around you is related to the self. And you will defend all those items yourself thinks it owns. The conscious of separation and the ego is indeed needed. It allows us to defend ourselves from others, defend our territory, and fight in case of our identity is in danger. In medieval times, we needed the ego a lot since everything was about protecting our environment, and we needed to fight hard with our neighbors to survive. The answer is that the separation is good since it allows us to survive in hostile environments, defend ourselves from others that may harm us, and let our souls have different experiences since it is a structure of doing an action. Being without the separation will not allow us to survive on earth. It will not let us have different experiences, and life will be boring. The difference is in the degrees. Although we need our separation, if we decrease the degrees of our separation structure, we will be able to connect with others more easily, share love with others, and be happier and more free. In most Earth societies, we don't need to fight with our neighbors so much. Besides, ask yourself, do I need to defend myself all the time? Maybe you got used to it since you were worried or afraid of the future. Or probably you were not conscious about this. You just play your life on autopilot. Now that you know and are conscious, you can decide how many degrees of the ego you want in your life. Separation traits. The separation has a set of characteristics or patterns that will help you to know which traits are more persistent in you and which traits you need to dissolve. There are different versions or manifestations of the systems of the separation. Some traits are more straightforward to dissolve than others. One of the problems you will encounter is that sometimes you need to be made aware that you have a separation pattern. This is why it is essential to get surrounded by people on the same journey. You can also monitor your actions daily or weekly and think about them. Check in if you did any ego-based behavior. Ask for help from people around you. Fear. We are afraid since we need to fight for our resources on earth, and we are uncertain that in the future we will be able to survive. We think we are not powerful and must fight with our willpower to obtain the resources we need to survive. The ego conscience lives most of the time in fear mode, in a limited belief system. Judgments. This is one of the most challenging aspects to evolve since most of the time judgments are considered opinions. We must judge since our self needs to fight with other people, which is a form of fear. They come as classic opinions, racism, political confrontation, etc. We must judge to reaffirm our identity linked to ourselves. This has been the most challenging trait of the ego for me to dissolve. Control. We need to control our environment. We need to control it so we are safe and secure. We must control our environment so other people do not control us. Being a form of fear. If we don't control, we feel we have some lack. It is related to a limiting belief system as well. Power and money. We are always in a fight for power and money. Some power since we are afraid and need the ability to reaffirm our survival. Ownership of our power allows us to control more getting the separation and the ego into a spiral of retreat. Money is required to be happy in life, and money is also key to having different experiences in life. And when the separation is strong, it is a purpose. You are important because you have money. Somebody else is vital and important since he has lots of money. Fight. You must fight to control your environment and have more power and money. This way you will not be afraid and will feel safe. Reaction to feelings. Because of the above, you react to feelings of judging others, control, fight, and defend your position. You are not happy, and you think others might be your enemies, the other. Future happiness. Your separation will tell you that you will have more power, status, and money in the future, and you will be happier then. When I have a new job, position, I can buy a house on the beach and will be happy. Each person has a different story, but always is related to the future. You will be happy in the future. You need to fight hard today and sacrifice to be happy in the future. Dissolving your ego. You will start by identifying the characteristics that are more persistent in you. You need to realize that a new you is possible with some work. Review your life about why you did the things you did in the past related to your ego. This review is essential since it will help you, it will give you awareness. In this phase, you can ask friends and family since they might provide valuable information on things you are not seeing. You need to ask yourself, am I going to live the same life repeatedly? In 2 years, will I be the same person without any evolution whatsoever? If you don't do anything, this is what will happen. But if you start making changes today, a new you can evolve in a new evolution path. There is a gem inside you waiting to be discovered, a precious one. You can define a plan to grow and advance in the ego, dissolution of the traits more persistent in you. You will monitor your advance daily or weekly or from time to time. Meditation will also help you here since it will allow you to connect with your soul and stop your mind. You will need to start living with your heart, which means dissolving some of the ego traits and relate to your intuition to begin living differently, solving problems not by willpower but by inspiration and creativity. It is also essential to connect with nature and others. Network with others, listen to their views, and learn to be more empathic. We are all one. Mixing the opinions of everyone provides a richness of action and thought. Learn to love yourself and forgive yourself and other people. Forgiveness is a powerful force. Also, practice compassionate love. These love practices will allow you to be less ego-centered and more heart-centered, and they will help you to be more powerful. And the entry door to a new happiness within you. Ego death is starting the journey. There will come a time when many of us realize that we have an ego causing many problems in our lives. For other people, the end of the ego death, comes from a spiritual awakening. Sometimes it happens when getting into intense bottom in their lives, like a severe depression. In these cases, they die before they die. This means that they went so deep into their end that the mind surrendered and they face their being without the presence of the ego, that is, their soul. Therefore, we call it ego death. Your egoistic mind needs to surrender to die somehow, so a new reality has a space to start being, the reality of the soul. This ego death is the starting point of the journey. It's a difficult journey, but very rewarding. The reason is that you will grow as you walk the journey. You will grow emotionally and you will grow spiritually. You will be more connected with your soul and your spirit. You will feel a powerful force inside you that powers you to be greater, to be higher, and to move to the next phase of your life. From time to time, you will fall back to egoistic patterns. It would be best if you were patient to take the journey. The objective is walking the journey, not the destination. Focus on the journey and get in love with the journey. Working the journey is what will enrich you. I had my ego death a few years ago. This allowed my spiritual awakening and be what I am today. I had profound health problems with neurologic symptoms that did not allow me to use my hands, and I had lots of pain in my hands and arms. A few months later, I lost a job position I had fought for so hard in the past with my willpower. I had to go deep button to awaken and rise again as a different person. I had to die and surrender to a new me, so a new me could be born. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and share this video if it helps you to grow and move to the next level. Subscribe and click on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos in case my content helps you out. I also remind you that you can join the Love Achievers community to access group coaching sessions, get to know other like-minded people, monitor your progress in moving to the next level, and access guided meditations. You will find the link in the description, and I will see you in the next video.